All right, everybody, can't wait to get into today's Friday review here on the Cabral Concept. This episode 3290. Big show here today. Typically, I'm always bringing you an update from what's gone on over the past week. Love being able to share with you any podcast shows you may have missed. That would be helpful. I go through a product review, usually a book review of the week, and then 2 research studies. Well, we're going to condense this a little bit here just for today, and that's because I've got a big product review that I believe will be new information for many of you as well. But also, I want to share with you I can't say that it's a breaking news study. However, it's now being brought out to the public for the very first time in about 18 months. And you won't want to miss this. So let's dive right into the show. Again, episode 3290, that's where all the research links, product links, etc. will be. What I want to talk about is just any shows that you may have missed over this last week. Monday's show was how to judge less, have less opinion, open your body up, open your mind up for greater levels of just relaxation, less overwhelm, more enjoyment over overall life. That was episode 3286. Episode 3287, Tuesday's show was up to 51% of homes have this toxin. Don't miss that and what you can do about it if you do have it. Wednesday's show was be careful with fasting if this is your goal, meaning that fasting is great. I do love intermittent fasting. However, there are certain types of people that just aren't going to do as well with it. And then yesterday's show was how to easily improve your aerobic capacity with a specific method called the Maffetone method. And if you've never heard about that before, I break down how you can use it, especially if you're just starting to get into exercise or cardio, etc. It's a great way to calculate the exact zone you should be in. All right, so let's dive now into today's show. But again, all shows can be found at stephencabral.com/podcast. So for Christmas, I got a gift that wasn't exactly from me to me, but I did ask for it, right? So it's one of those gifts you're like, you're not really shocked when you get it. But my wife was asking me, she's like, what do you want for Christmas? Like, what type of gift would, you enjoy? And I said, well, I'm starting to get a little bit more into running. I'm buying myself a Christmas present, which was a new treadmill. I'll probably talk about that on a future show. But I hear a lot of people talking about the Coros watch. So it's Coros, and this is the Coros Pace 3 watch. You can see it right here. There's a million different straps that you can add to it. I originally had the nylon one. This is rubber. I prefer that because it's easier to kind of wick sweat away, and it's very comfortable, just like the Apple Watch that I'm here wearing on my left arm. So if you're watching this, by the way, I have to give a shout out here. We had 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I just am very grateful, very deeply grateful for all of you being along for this ride. So thank you so much for being a part of our YouTube-based community. We've got a lot of new content coming, which will be different from the everyday podcast coming soon. So stay tuned for that. All right, but on this Coros Pace 3, why would I get this when I already have an Apple Watch? I've tried Garmin in the past. It's like, okay, yes, I love health tech, but why this watch? This watch does something very unique, and I'm going to give you 2 parts to it that the Apple Watch does not. So believe it or not, and I'll share with just in a moment, the Apple Watch can be as much as up to 20 to 25% incorrect when running inside on a treadmill. It just does a horrible job, like most every watch, tracking your running on a treadmill because there's no GPS signal. So Coros takes care of this, and I'll share with you how. But the real reason, the biggest benefit for me, and I literally only wear this watch, by the way, when I run. So that's the thing. I love closing the rings on the Apple Watch. I really do. It's on airplane mode. I don't get text messages, none of that. But I love to say, okay, I have to stand. I've got to get my 12 standing hours or my 12, different hours of standing for at least 1 minute per day. I've got to get at least my 30 minutes of exercise, and I have to burn at least this many active calories per day. And I like that little motivational aspect. It's easy to wear, obviously, comfortable, all of those things. And in the future, you're going to be able to see your glucose levels, etc. All right, but I digress. So why do I wear then a separate watch when running? Here's why. I can actually program my workout into this watch. Now, you can do it with the Garmin, which I used to have, but for me, the Garmin is more than I need. That's basically it. It's a bigger watch and it's more than I need. So what I want to be able to do, though, is program in a simple running-based workout. or biking, because this watch is meant for cyclists and it's meant for basically people who are running, but you can program any workout in. So here's what I do. I click on the app, which is free when you get the watch. So I literally go into the Coros app. That's it. And then it says create workout. Like, this is how easy it is. And then you can put schedule today. And so then you literally click on your watch and you click on today's workout. And here's an example. So on Tuesdays, I do sprint interval workouts. So I'll do a 10-minute warm-up or a mile warm-up. You can do it for distance, you can do it for time, you can do it for threshold, for pace, however you want to do it. You can get as complicated as you want. I just put in 10 minutes. Then after that, I'm going to do 8 different sprints. Now, for my workouts, as they're getting a little bit more complex, the first 4 for this week were 2-minute sprint followed by a 2-minute rest. Now the rest is going to create its own little split, which I'll talk about in a moment, where you can look in your app. So now a sprint for a 2-minute pace, it can't be all out because I need to maintain it for 2 minutes. And then I bring it down walking for 2 minutes. Then after that, I'm going to do 4 3-minute sprints followed by 2-minute walks 4 times. Then at the very end, and it coaches me through this, I'm going to then do a 5 to 10 minute cool down. That's it. And so each week, though, I'm trying to increase my sprint interval time. So these sprints are a little bit different than your typical 20-second to 60-second. I've talked about those in previous shows. What I'm looking to do is increase my overall essentially getting threshold pace, but it's beyond that. It's getting into anaerobic base power, but I want to be able to increase my overall VO2 max. So this is leading me towards the Norwegian protocol that I've spoken about before, which is essentially 4 4-minute sprints. And for me, I want to get to 8 4-minute sprints, but anyway, we'll get there. I'm not in a rush. And I simply increase it by 1-minute sprint per week. So it goes from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. Once I get to 8 3-minute sprints, then I'll start to move. I'll keep the 3-minute and I'll start to add in 1 4-minute. So that's essentially how I'm doing it. And I gauge my recovery, all of those great things. But what the watch does is it beeps with 10 seconds, letting me know, okay, rest is up. Now you're going to be moving over your sprint, and then it holds the beep. Okay, now I'm in my sprints, and then 10 seconds left. It actually gets 1 minute, it does 1 beep, but then at 10 seconds, it starts to beep down, and then I can rest, and I click my speed back down to my treadmill just to a walking speed, and that's what I do. So what I'm saying here is that you can literally program any workout you want. You want to do a tempo workout? Okay, maybe it's a mile warm up, and then you get progressively faster with each of the next mile or 2 miles or 3 miles, and then you cool down. So you can literally create any workout you want, and it goes right to the watch. I love that. It's easy to use. Apple has a couple third-party integrations, but it's not native to the watch. So having said all that, it's pretty much right on the money for Apple in terms of heart rate, because I think the Apple's heart rate monitor is probably the best out there. It's literally only 1 to 2 beats off in either direction, sometimes a little bit higher, which I would like it to err on the side of higher anyway. So I can say, okay, I need to push back a little bit, but overall excellent. So how does it solve, though, the indoor running issue? Because you can't track GPS, right? Like, that's the big issue. So these watches are all off when you're running on a treadmill because you're in place. So it's very difficult to gauge because it doesn't know the exact speed. So what the Coros does is it actually allows you to calibrate the watch and your workout based on how far you went on the treadmill. But it goes a step further, and it uses a device called the Pod 2. Now, at the time of recording, it's called the Pod 2, and it may increase in the future. And again, I have no relationship at all with this company, Coros. I'm just sharing with you exactly what I do in my kind of health and fitness-based journey as well, right alongside you. So you've got a little device that connects through Bluetooth from the watch to your sneaker. You clip this on to the laces on your sneaker, and it clicks right in. Now, I've used this for over 50 miles, and it has not gone anywhere. It has never fallen off. You slide it right through, and this then gives you the best data possible, outside or inside. So now it can see your stride length. It knows how far you're going based on stride length, all of these different things. So it's pretty incredible. So when you connect the Coros watch to the Pod 2, you get the best of all worlds, and specifically indoor workouts, and you can use it for cycling as well. Now, you can use it hiking, you can use it for anything you want, but it's simple to use. I like simple. I don't want to go through a bunch of different things. And then when I'm done, I can go through all the data in the app, and it can actually show me sprint by sprint or any of the workouts exactly how I did, my cadence, meaning the number of steps I was taking, all those different things shows up. So pretty incredible. Again, I'm a fan of the Apple Watch. I'm not saying that I'm not. It does a lot of great things that will do even more in the future. But for, one thing can't be the best at everything. And what I found is, yes, the Garmin is an incredible watch. And if you need all those features, amazing. But if you want something for sprint triathlons or cycling, swimming, running, I think the Coros can't be beat. It's a great, easy to use watch. All right. So that's my product review. I will link those up, especially since I didn't talk about anything disease related. We can do that. All right. Now I wanted to get to our research for the week. A couple weeks ago, a bunch of people reached out about this. So anytime I talk about cancer and cancer-based support, I do get a lot of outreach because this seems to be a topic that more people want to learn about. So I do want to let you know that this is completely free. It's at stephencabral.com/cancer. You don't need to opt in. You don't need to do anything. It's just there to read over and share with others as well. But I leave you always with what we know today that works in terms of helping to find cancer early, prevent it as best we can, and overcome it if we do get diagnosed. So that's going to continue. It's a living, breathing webpage that I will continue to update. That's why I didn't write it as a book, because I always want to update it every quarter. So some of those updates were with EBC 46. I talked about that on a previous show, and I will link it up. YouTube hates when we talk about this particular topic, but I just said, listen, if we get banned again for another week, we got a whole week, which was crazy, that they took us off just for literally sharing legitimate research. So this is it's a conventional medicine research study. But I want to share it with you because the results were incredible. So here's what it is. And I don't know how to even pronounce this correctly. That's why I want to link it all up for you. Dostarlimab. So I'm just pronouncing it phonetically. Dostarlimab is an immunotherapy drug, and it's used to treat cancer, but it's very unique. And I want to give you the exact studies because something happened in these studies that's never happened before, at least to most people's knowledge. So what is Dostarlimab? It's a monoclonal antibody that blocks PD-1 protein on immune cells. I'll get to exactly what that means. So PD-1 helps to regulate the immune system, and cancer cells often use it to evade detection, meaning one of the ways that cancer cells are allowed to multiply and grow is that our natural killer cells and T cells, they're not able to find the cancer. It's not marked as something that should be destroyed. And so it evades it as it's allowed to grow. This is why I truly believe, again, I've done a lot of research. I've looked at trophoblasts and all sorts of different theories. To me, it seems to be an immunological issue. Cancer seems to be a breakdown in the immune system because, as we know, we're always producing mutated cells, but those cells are given a signal of apoptosis to self-destruct, and if not, the immune system marks them and destroys them. So yes, I think there's mitochondrial aspects. There's absolutely toxicity aspects which can cause cancer, but again, that affects the immune system as well. So anyway, I just want to share that with you because this is no different. So by blocking PD-1, the protein, Dostarlimab allows the immune system to recognize and attack the cancer cells more effectively, right? Because now it's oh, you were evading me, but now I found you. So basically took off that invisibility cloak, right? Now it's there. So it's approved as an FDA treatment for endometrial cancer, okay? So uterine lining cancer, specifically in patients with a mismatch repair deficient it's called a DMMR. So it's a specific type of tumor. And this is, if you have an endometrial-based cancer, you test for this. Okay. The other one is for colorectal patients with that same DMMR tumor. Now, here's what it found, because again, this is a monoclonal-based antibody. And then this is, it's unbelievable. 100% of patients with DMMR, endometrial cancer, who received the Dostarlimab had their tumors disappear after 6 months of treatment. I'm going to give you a little bit more on this. Another result on the colorectal cancer. 18 patients, all of whom had the DMMR colorectal cancer. After 6 months of treatment, every patient showed complete remission, meaning no evidence of cancer was detectable through endoscopies, PET scans, or MRI scans. Notably, none of the patients required additional treatments like surgery, chemotherapy, or radiation, which is a huge breakthrough. Because typically you might give a treatment in conjunction with radiation, right, for 4 to 6 weeks. Chemotherapy maybe for 4 to 6 weeks. Now, again, we're talking about a major institute, Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Institute. This is Dr. Diaz speaking about this. He said it was the first time in history that a cancer drug achieved a 100% success rate with every participant experiencing complete remission. They went on to say the result has such far-reaching implications for the treatment of cancer. They were blown away. They've never seen, when they went to do all of the scans again, all of these individuals, the cancer was completely gone. Maybe they expected a shrinking of the tumors. Maybe they even expected, hey, if this goes well, maybe 10%, 20%, 1.8 to maybe 3.6, people. They saw some benefits. They saw some results. They go in, all the scans are completely clean and clear. I mean, that is an amazing thing for some of these experimental-based treatments right now that are using off-label type specific drugs, or in this case, it's a monoclonal antibody, and getting to see this and now published in the New England Journal of Medicine. So it's pretty amazing. It really is. And again, my goal is to help people heal however possible. So do I want to use all natural protocols? Do I want to use early detection? Yes. But if someone's life is on the line, I also want to be able to help them heal in any way possible. And cancer is closer to that end stage where the body has begun to fail. So we need to do as much as we can to return it back to balance. And if we can do so in a complementary based approach, I'm all for that, especially since I do believe that there's an immunological issue that we need to help with. So as close to natural immuno-based therapies, the better. So I'm going to link up this research. I hope that it's able to help some individual out there. There's got to be someone that you know or will come in contact with that might have a colorectal-based cancer or endometrial-based cancer. And this could potentially be life-saving and helpful for them, because they're also now using the same exact drug or others like it to look at pancreatic cancer and to look at other forms of cancer that are, obviously devastating our population. And I hope to see that that's successful in the future as well. So thanks so much, everybody, for being a part of this community. Thank you for all of our YouTube subscribers. I deeply appreciate you. And of course, we're back tomorrow with a brand new Cabral Concept. Take care. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.